For the past week, sleep has become a luxury I can't afford. It started subtly, a faint scuffling sound from above, just as I was drifting off. I live on the top floor of an old apartment building, so my first thought was a rat, maybe a raccoon that had found its way into the crawl space. Annoying, but explainable. I'd thump the ceiling, and the noise would stop. Problem solved, or so I thought. But the next night, it was back, a little bolder this time. It wasn't just scuffling anymore. It was a distinct, rhythmic sound. Thump, dot, 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 thump, like someone pacing, slow, deliberate footsteps right over my bed. The first time I heard it clearly, my blood ran cold. I sat bolt upright, straining my ears in the silent darkness. The moment I moved, the footsteps stopped. Dead silence. I held my breath, waiting, but the rest of the night was quiet. This became our nightly ritual. The footsteps would start, I'd jolt awake, and they'd immediately cease. It was maddening. It felt like whatever was up there was toying with me, waiting for me to be at my most vulnerable before making its presence known. I started sleeping with the lights on, a baseball bat next to my bed. My friends told me I was just stressed, that my mind was playing tricks on me. After all, I live on the top floor. Their asterisk is asterisk, no attic. Just a sealed-off crawl space between my ceiling and the building's roof. It's inaccessible. But how do you explain away the feeling of a heavy tread shaking loose tiny flakes of plaster that drift down onto your face? How do you convince yourself you're imagining a sound so clear it vibrates through your pillow? By the seventh night, I was a wreck. The dark circles under my eyes were proof of my nightly torment. I couldn't take it anymore. The sounds started again, right on schedule. Thump, thump, thump. This time, I didn't sit up. I stayed perfectly still, my heart hammering against my ribs. I wanted it to think I was asleep. The pacing continued, back and forth, back and forth. Slowly, silently, I slid out of bed and grabbed the heavy-duty flashlight from my kitchen drawer. I pulled the stepladder out of the hall closet, my hands shaking so badly I could barely unfold it. There was a small, square panel in the ceiling of my closet, nailed and painted shut for years. The only way in. Using a crowbar, I pried it open with a groan of protesting wood and a shower of paint chips and dust. The air that wafted down was stale and thick, smelling of decades-old wood and something else, something faintly metallic. My flashlight beam cut through the oppressive darkness, revealing a space cluttered with insulation and ancient wooden beams. It was just a crawl space, exactly as I'd been told. A wave of relief washed over me, immediately followed by confusion. If there was nothing up here, what had I been hearing? I hoisted myself up, my feet landing softly on the dusty floorboards. The air was heavy, and the silence was absolute. I swept the light across the floor. My heart stopped. There, in the thick layer of undisturbed dust, were footprints, not the tracks of some animal. They were clear, bare footprints, human-sized, and they were fresh. The dust was pushed aside, not settled. They led from one end of the crawl space to the other, a perfect path worn into the grime, ending right in the middle of the space. My own small smudges from landing were next to them. But these other prints, dot, 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 they were everywhere. I followed the trail with my light, a cold dread creeping up my spine. They paced back and forth, over and over. Then I saw it. The trail didn't just end, it turned. The last set of prints faced away from the far wall, pointing directly toward the access panel, pointing directly where I was now standing. My blood turned to ice. A floorboard creaked behind me. The sound was soft, almost gentle, but in that suffocating silence, it was as loud as a gunshot. I froze, my flashlight beam still fixed on the empty footprints in the dust. I knew I wasn't alone. Slowly, ever so slowly, I turned around. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know in the comments what you think was waiting for him. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.